The November 10th meeting of the Social Circle Board of Education is called to order. I would like to ask all who would like to join the governance team in standing so we pray the Lord's Prayer together, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next, we have approval of our agenda. Dr. Brewer, are there any changes? No changes. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda as presented? I have a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. The agenda is approved unanimously. Next, we have approval of minutes from our October board meeting. I have those before you. I have a motion to accept the October minutes as presented. So moved. I have a second.
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Those minutes are approved unanimously. Next on our agenda, we have the board comment section. Thanks for joining us on a blustery night. It's great to have a nice crowd as usual, and we really appreciate your attendance. And you are always welcome here, always. And we love it when you come. So, second Thursday every month, almost every month. So please come back. I'd like to start by also thanking some special guests that we have tonight. We are honored to have the Social Circle United Methodist Church Boy Scout Troop 64 of Social Circle in attendance, and I'd ask you to stand. And this is part of their community service, and so we appreciate you being here. And I've been told these folks are actually going to stay through the break tonight. And speaking of that, you'll notice on the agenda, there is a break section. And we ask everyone in attendance to please stay at least to that point in the meeting so that we can make sure our students get properly recognized by everyone. After the break, all bets are off. I'm sure people need to go places, but I'm glad at least we have the Boy Scouts staying with us after the break, and then everyone else is welcome to. Last thing on board comments is you may have heard we're hosting the second state playoff game, home game in our school's history tomorrow night at 7:30 over at our complex. We're hosting Woodville Academy. Game time is 7:30. I want to give you a few details about this. They make us kind of follow a few different rules that we don't always like, but we have to follow for these state playoff games. And first of all, admission is $8 for everyone at the gate. No matter if you have a red seat or not, or a senior citizen discount or whatever. There's none of that for this game. It's $8 at the gate. The only exception is those who hold a GHSA pass. I will say though, those who have purchased the red seat do still get an advantage. You still have your seat reserved for you once you get in, and you also have the parking spot close to the complex, to the stadium. So we hope to see you in the meeting or tomorrow night at 7:30. Go Redskins. Okay, moving right along, I'll turn over the last comment here to Dr. Brewer. She recognizes our veterans.
Historically, here in Social Circle, we've had an incredible tradition of hosting really elaborate Veterans Day ceremonies either at each of our schools, or on one occasion, we actually had all 4 schools here on the middle and high school campus to celebrate our veterans. And we are very blessed to have a large number of veterans here in our community. And while we've placed a pause on the large gatherings just for safety concerns, we wanted to make sure that everyone's aware that we're still participating in Veterans Day activities at all of the schools for our students. We know how important your service and commitment has been to our country and to our safety, and we know that our community sincerely values your service, and we want to make sure that your students are aware of the incredible commitment that you've made to all of us. So if there are any veterans present, would you mind please standing so that we can applaud you and indicate our appreciation for your service? I know we have at least one.
Oh, come on.
Thank you.
And Dr. Brewer, we are getting back to the recognition full service that we normally have in most years. Next year, hopefully.
We are hopeful to do that next year, yes.
Good news. Okay, now I'll turn it back over to you for the superintendent's report.
Since last month, the total enrollment for the district has decreased by 8 students. The primary school decreased by 4 students. The elementary school decreased by 1 student. The middle school increased by 2. And the high school decreased by 5. So we're at a total of 1940 students across all 4 of our campuses. Thank you, Mr. County.
Okay, and now for your conferences, we recognize some other great accomplishments throughout our school system.
I'll give Carrie a chance to pull this up. We are really proud of our Raiders team. Our Raiders team is a part of our JROTC program, and they have done amazing work. The teamwork opportunities and team building opportunities that these folks participate in is really impressive. If you haven't ever watched our Raiders work, it's amazing. They do a lot of incredible physical activity, and one of our favorite pieces about it is that they're required to work as a team. So when you're on the Raiders team and you're at a competition, if someone gets ill and falls down, the team picks you up and will carry you to the finish line. And we just think that's such a beautiful example of our community and the way that we take care of one another and support each other, especially in situations where we're needing help. So this group of young men recently placed 2nd at the state level competition, and that at another competition shortly following, they placed 7th when they were competing at the national level, which is amazing. We appreciate so much their hard work. We love having the opportunity to brag about their work, and we're really looking forward to the ways that these gentlemen are going to change our world. And next, we want to congratulate several of our amazing ladies. Under the leadership of our new head coach, Chris Davis, our varsity softball team recently finished 2nd in region, and they were runner-up at state. We had 7 girls that were recognized by the region and named to the 1st and 2nd all-region teams, and additionally, region recognized Macy Langley, a senior, as the Region 5 Defensive Player of the Year. We're really proud of all of these young ladies and look forward to their continued success. So next, I wanted to provide you an update on the 30-day plan that I shared with the board. We're using this as a tool to stay updated on the progress that we're making as a cabinet during the transition of my position into the superintendency. And so during the first 30 days, we agreed that I would meet individually with board members, and I have had several individual meetings. Times have been offered for everyone, and several meetings are scheduled for the future. Another thing that we agreed to had to do with meeting with internal and external stakeholders, and I've met with several parents and community leaders, and other meetings are on the calendar to happen in the near future. We agreed to conduct individual meetings with central office and school-based leaders. And again, I've met with several of those and have other meetings on the calendar so that we can make sure that I'm hearing from all of our stakeholders about what's working well in our district, where we have opportunities for improvement, how our stakeholders can help us to get to those accomplishments, and who are other stakeholders that they know that I need to speak with and reach out to. So I've received a wealth of information through these meetings, and I'm really looking forward to the ways that we're going to continue to serve our students even more effectively. We have been working to facilitate the development of a portrait of a graduate. This is another opportunity, working with stakeholders, parents, community members, our teachers of the year from each school. And we have had several meetings, including a recent meeting of the design team, which was held on October 27th. And that was an opportunity for us to continue to refine the work on this project. The Portrait of a Graduate is a tool to help us to identify the competencies and the skills that our students need in order to be prepared for a really successful future after graduation. So we appreciate all of the input that's been shared with our teachers, our parents, and our community members so that we can make sure that we're preparing all of our students for tremendous success after high school. Attending local faculty meetings at each school. In fact, we had an opportunity over this last week to attend the leadership team meetings at the elementary, middle, and primary school. It's an opportunity for our leaders at each school, faculty level leaders, to report out on each school's progress towards their school improvement plans. And we were really pleased to hear about the great innovations that are going on in the schools. They're doing a great job of keeping close eye on their students' performance in literacy as well as in mathematics, and then also our goals on social emotional learning and making sure that our students have the skills that they need to cooperate with one another and to manage their own behavior. Next, visiting the schools on a weekly basis. This is one of my favorite things to do. And in fact, this week and into next week are our opportunities as a central office to shadow students. So everyone in the central office is assigned to a student, and we have a student at each grade level across all of the schools, and they spend the entire day with the student. So they start when the child gets to school first thing in the morning, and they stay with them until the end of the day. And it's a great opportunity for us to be in the buildings, experiencing what it's like to be a student in our schools. And we take lots of notes, and when we come back before we're preparing our work during the budget season, and when we're working on our school improvement plans, we use the data that's been collected in order to help make really great decisions. And for those of us in the central office, this is one of our favorite days in the school year, isn't it? It is such a treat. We have some amazing instruction going on in our schools. We also agreed to attending local school events and athletic activities, and I have enjoyed participating in those, and I'm looking forward to the football game tomorrow night. Identifying property options for the combined primary and elementary school site. I've been working diligently on that on a daily basis. I've consulted with realtors, attorneys, architects, and construction companies. We have a meeting scheduled for Friday with the Georgia Department of Education facilities representatives to ensure that we understand the required steps and processes needed when identifying and securing a school site. Also, we are working to consider our current facility needs. So Nicole Cross, our CFO, and I spent time touring the middle and the high school, considering the conditions of the facilities, and then looking at what our long-term and short-term priorities need to be for facility and maintenance improvement in those schools. Nicole and I are also participating in a facilities and capital outlay training session that will be occurring in early spring, so that we're making sure that we are very clear on what the processes and expectations are, and so we're spending all of our money really wisely. Also articulating our accountability processes and procedures. We have an accountability model that we follow, and we actually included that in a recent application for an award with the Georgia School Board Association. And it's a great tool for us to make sure that we're monitoring our progress, that we're making changes based on the information that we find, and that we're communicating that across the team. We're also following our established communication plans, making sure that we're doing a great job of communicating with families and communicating with staff members, and also communicating with our board members. I hope that you've seen that we have an example of that this evening, where we wanted to make sure that parents knew that we are closely monitoring the weather situation, and that right now we're anticipating having school, but we will definitely closely monitor, and we'll be checking those things around 6 a.m. in the morning, and if anything changes, we'll make sure to get those announcements out to you really quickly. Also, advertising the assistant superintendent position. So we have interviews organized for this particular week, as well as several interviews next week. And we've had some excellent candidates, and it's going to be a real challenge for the cabinet to determine the best option for us moving forward. But we are making sure that we're following a very prescriptive process so that there's a lot of fairness and opportunity for everyone that applied who actually was qualified with the position. We'll be interviewing all of those candidates. So we're making great progress. We still have lots of work to do, and I look forward to updating you again at the end of 60 days.
Thank you, Dr. Brewer. And next, you're going to tell us about identifying the new school site.
Correct. Our meeting tomorrow will be with the Georgia Department of Education, and they are going to take us through the official processes that are required once we identify a site for a school. And so there's an application checklist, and this checklist is available for you out on the internet. But I just wanted, and I won't read all of the details, but there are some really prescriptive steps that we need to go through once we've identified a site. And I wanted to make sure that everyone was aware that we are monitoring that closely, that we're getting lots of help and support, and we're going to make sure to make an awesome decision for our new site, because we know that this is going to be a great addition to our community.
Thank you, Dr. Brewer. That's quite a first 30 minutes there. Next on our agenda, we have public participation, and there's no one here to speak tonight, so we'll move right along to special recognition. And for that, I'll turn it back over to Dr. Brewer.
Great, thank you, sir. And this is everyone's favorite part of the meeting. So we are so excited to hear about the great work that our students are doing in the classroom. We love an opportunity for your principals to be here to brag about you and make sure that we're aware. So first, I would like to call Ms. Darlene Favors, who is our Social Circle Primary School Principal. We are going to look forward to hearing all about Cooper Hardy.
Good evening, everyone. We are so proud of our star student for the primary school. He goes by the name of Cooper Hardy, and Cooper has been with our school since pre-K, and he is currently in the 2nd grade. He is an amazing student, and there were a lot of teachers who had some great things to say about you, Cooper. And so at this time, I would like to share with you. Ms. Moody was Cooper's pre-K teacher, and she said, "I am so proud of all of the hard work and grit Cooper has shown over the years since he has been at the primary school. He has faced challenges and obstacles, but with perseverance, he has overcome them. He makes me smile to see what a bright, shining star he has become. Keep up the great work, Cooper." Miss Ryder was Cooper's kindergarten teacher, and she said, "Cooper has worked so hard and has made great progress academically. He has built up stamina, focus, and determination for his learning. We are so proud of him for maintaining a positive attitude, even when things have been tough. We loved having him in our room. Way to go, Cooper." Miss Bramlett was Cooper's 1st grade teacher, and she said, Cooper was such a kind soul. When he gets comfortable with you, you would be best friends for life. He brings joy and happiness wherever he goes. He wants to learn and please. Keep being a star. And Cooper's teachers this year, his second grade teachers, Miss Anapsey and Miss Jenkins. Miss Anapsey says, Cooper is a great kid who works hard. He has a big heart and cares about other students. And lastly, Miss Jenkins, his homeroom teacher, she says, Cooper is a helpful friend to his classmates at all times. He is a friend to everyone and loves to share his hunting and four-wheeler stories. He appreciates his classmates, teachers, and family. Every day he speaks highly of the ones he cares about and is always willing to help a person in need. I am very proud to have him represent our classroom. We are very proud to have you represent our school, Cooper. At this time, everyone please join with me in celebrating our star, Cooper Hardy.
And next, Dr. Hargrove is excited about coming up to the podium so that she can tell us all about Claire.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure and my honor to be able to recognize a fourth grader at the elementary school who goes by the name of Claire Gray. And so I have a few comments from a few of her teachers. Miss Raines is the first one that I'm going to share with you, Claire. And she says, Claire is a leader in the music room. She is always excited and ready to learn. She exhibits a positive outlook and a positive attitude, no matter what is going on. Claire is kind and respectful to students and teachers. She puts forth her best effort into her work and all that she does. I always enjoy having Claire in my class. Congratulations, Claire. You are a champ. And that's from Miss Raines. We're not finished yet. Then Miss Landis wanted to say some words for Claire. Claire has a positive attitude and leads by example. Claire always gives her best effort. I love her style and I enjoy listening to all the stories she tells me about her brother. Way to go, Claire. Bravo. And then her fourth grade teacher, Miss Edwards, says, Claire meets champ expectations daily. She is cooperative, honest, accountable, motivated, and prepared. Claire comes to school with a smile on her face, and I can attest to that. I get to see that smile every morning. She comes with a smile on her face every morning, ready for whatever the day has in store. She is always one of the first students to want to participate in class, and is always willing to help anybody who needs help with an assignment. She is a great friend to her classmates and shows them daily what champ behavior should look like. Claire is always a ray of sunshine, and her smile and her personality is infectious. Congratulations, Claire. We are so proud of you. At this time, if you will give Miss Claire Gray a round of applause.
Congratulations, Claire. Thank you. And next, we have Dr. Ryan Clark, principal at our middle school.
Good evening, everyone. This time it's my privilege to recognize Social Circle Middle School's Star Student of the Month, Kenzie Miller. And Kenzie, I'd like to read a short little description of why you were selected by your teachers as the middle school student of the month. Kenzie Miller was selected as SCMS's Star Student of the Month in the areas of leadership, achievement, and citizenship. Kenzie is a leader in the classroom. She models the characteristics of a power student. Kenzie sets high goals for herself and achieves them just about every day. She is always willing to help her classmates with assignments, volunteers to model her work for her peers, and is always willing to help her teachers with any task. We are so very proud of Kenzie. Congratulations. And so at this time, she'll join me in recognizing Kenzie as our Star Student of the Month.
Congratulations, Kenzie. And next we have Mr. Tim Armstrong, principal at our high school.
Good evening. It's my privilege tonight to talk to you about one of our amazing seniors. I asked a couple of her teachers about some comments about her, and here's what one of them had to say. He said, "She is one of the few students I've ever met that is able to combine her artistic talent with her schoolwork. Even in assignments that don't require visuals, she's able to hone in her artistic skills to create thoughtful sentences and examples that not only tell, but show her thoughts and her analytical thinking. At heart, she's an artist, but the great thing she does is that her art comes out in everything she does." One of her own teachers said, "She's amazing and pays close attention to detail in all of her work. She has created a large, impressive body of work over the 4 years that I've had the privilege of teaching her. Even though she's very good, she's always looking for ways to improve. Not only is she very talented, she's one of the sweetest and kindest students I've ever had." Another one just simply said, "She is very bright, artistically gifted, and super respectful." And the last teacher said, "She is a bright spot in the day, whether it's in class or just walking down the hall. From her makeup, which is ever changing, to her incredible artwork, she is an all-around amazing young lady. She has taken her struggles and pushed and persevered since she was a little girl. 2 years ago, she took on the task of singing second soprano in the girls' trio for literary and helped push them to both a region and state championship title. Last year, she wore the same and was another region champion. She works incredibly hard to be the absolute best she can be, and every single day she embodies what it means to be a social circle Redskin. I would like to introduce to you Ms. Caroline Anderson, our student.
Good evening, and thank you, Mr. Armstrong, for the introduction. As he said, my name is Caroline Anderson, and I am a senior at Social Circle High School. One of the most things that I love about Social Circle is that it's such a welcoming school. It's very personable. I'm not just another face in the crowd. Next year, I plan to attend the University of North Georgia at the Oconee campus. I'm going to major in art education. I've enjoyed the art program here at Social Circle, from primary, elementary, middle, and high school. One of the things I've enjoyed most about my art classes are experimenting with different materials and learning new skills to further my improvement, from painting, drawing, and clay. My favorite by far is painting. I'm looking forward to finishing my art portfolio in art class. Art truly motivates me. I'm also excited about graduating and starting a new chapter in my life. I would now like to invite you all to the Fine Arts Night on December the 6th in the Middle School Activity Center, where you can view artwork and hear our band play. Lastly, I am so grateful for my parents and their unconditional and continuous and support. They are my support system. I love you so much. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight and providing me with my insight to my journey through social circle education system. I'm forever grateful. Are there any questions?
Caroline, my only question would be, are you going to be singing at the Fine Arts Night?
Not that I know of.
She truly has the voice of an angel. It is amazing to hear her sing. Thank you, Caroline.
As always, great job, students. You inspire your peers as well as students. Thank you for that. Okay, we come along now to the break part of our agenda. Those of you will continue with our agenda. I'll ask our CFO, Ms. Nicole Cross, present the finance section to us, please.
Good evening. Tonight presented is the September 2022 financial report. So we are 25% into the new fiscal year. We received 17% of general fund budgeted revenues, and we spent 27% of general fund budgeted expenditures. If you'll remember, local tax revenue is at 2%. This will begin to be received in November, with the bulk coming in December and January. Local tax revenue is at 4%. This is the revenue we received from Newton and Walton counties for our intergovernmental agreements, and these funds are received in February. Currently, revenues exceed expenditures by a little over $2 million, and this is expected and will even out when our tax revenue begins to come in. Encumbrances for the general fund are $170,000. Our special revenue funds, as you know, federal awards begin October 1st, so we will begin to report on all of the federal and state awards in October. So we have our school food service fund next. We're at 27% of budgeted revenues and 28% of budgeted expenditures. In September, we served 31,050 meals. Encumbrances for the school food service fund total a little over $1,200. And next we have our SPLOST fund. SPLOST collections received in September for August collections total $205,000 from Walton County. This is a 15% increase from the prior year. And $2,600 from Newton County, and this is a 17% increase from the prior year. Encumbrances for the SPLOST fund total $414,000. And lastly, we have our quarterly update on our school activity accounts. Revenues in all activity accounts totaled $186,000, and expenditures totaled $155,000. Total cash balance across all accounts is $420,000. Are there any questions about our September report?
Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept the September financial report as presented by Ms. Cross? So moved. Have a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Financial report is approved unanimously.
And next we have our fresh pay change for schools update. September collections was $2,230.63. This was allocated to each school for PE equipment and clubs. This brings our total collection to date of a little over $127,000.
Thank you, Ms. Cross. Next on our agenda, we have district reports. Anything there?
No, sir.
All right. Moving right along to new business action items. The first one is an overnight trip request for a baseball tournament, March 3rd and 4th next year. I have a motion to accept this field trip as recommended by our superintendent. I have a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. The next one is our Raiders trip that just took place, and we still have to formally vote on it. We did give them a wink approval, and this is a formal approval, but they've already taken this trip. I wanted to mention one other thing. There were over 130 teams in this national event. We finished 7th out of that. That's pretty impressive. So that took place November 4th through the 6th. Do I have a motion to accept this field trip as recommended by our superintendent for the Raiders? Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. That field trip is approved. Next, we showed this last month, and it's sat on the table for a month, and now we can vote on it. Every year, every member of the Board of Education has to take training, and it's have to get a minimum number of hours, and we're going to see those collectively. And so this just shows you, per member of the board, what training we've committed to for this coming year. And at the end of the year, then we vote to approve what we did. So this is just approving the plan tonight. So do I have a motion to approve the local board training plan for fiscal year 23? I have a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. The plan is approved. Next on our agenda, we have executive session. And so do I have a motion to exit regular session and enter executive session to discuss personnel and real estate? Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. We'll go to executive session for some time, and then we'll be back. Have a motion to exit executive session and enter regular session? Have a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. We're back in regular session. We'll discuss personnel now. Our superintendent has several recommendations. We're going to take the certified on one slate and classified on another slate. And we'll take the substitutes on another slate. So first, personnel recommendations for certified, Lorraine Seegers, special ed, co-teacher, middle school. Now, a motion to accept this recommendation from our superintendent. Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. For classified staff, we have these recommendations from our superintendent. Shannon Moreau, school food service sub. Sharon Rice, food service sub. Paula Sutherland, bus driver. Cynthia Smith, bus driver, resignation. Now I have a motion to accept those recommendations from our superintendent. I have a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Now we will go to the substitutes. All right. We've already voted by email. This is formalizing the vote for the October recommendations for substitutes. And I'll let you read them. They're A through M. These are all recommended substitute teachers from our superintendent. Our motion to accept the recommendations represented A through M for substitute teachers. I have a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. And now we have more substitutes for this month. And we have A through F. These are recommendations for substitute teachers from our superintendent. Now I have a motion to approve A through F substitute teachers. Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Now a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.